I pray for clarity. I pray for wisdom and understanding. Humble myself to be able to look outside of myself, to see others' point of view and perceptions, to put together pieces of life not clearly told so we can learn the proper lessons that come from it. A friend of mine sent me a video of a man running a race. This race had obstacles to jump over and hazards to get through. But at the beginning of the race, in which he was also the underdog, he fell. Now you can imagine all the things going through his mind as, at that moment. But he picked himself up and strove to finish the race, at least. His first goal was to just catch up with the pack. And he eventually did. Then it was to get ahead of as many people as he could. And gradually he found himself among the top three. And on the final lap, his competitors embraced him after they crossed the finish line. He had won the race. But why did he fall? Now, I'd say it was a lesson for others to not give up. Even though it may look bleak, focus on finishing and doing the best you can. Without overextending yourself, because, he could have burned himself out by trying too hard, after the fall. But he didn't. He changed his goal, just to catch up. And when he did, he changed his goal again to get past as many as he could. And when he saw the end, his final goal was to win. Some might say the fall was a test, like God tested Job in the Bible to see if he'd give up. But was what happened to Job just a test? I believe everything happens for a reason. You just have to be willing to ask the questions and look for the truth. So here's the question. How could you do no wrong, but still do something wrong? Is it wrong to want to protect your children? But what if your children did something wrong? You'd still want to protect them. Now, this is what Job did often. Now, imagine someone violated someone that you love and laughed about it. Laughed as they did it, laughed after they did it, have no remorse. How would you feel about the person standing in the way of judgment, protecting them? You might be angry. You might be angry at this person that did nothing wrong but want to protect their child. But that's not it. There's another way you can do nothing wrong but still do something wrong. And they are victims of this every day and all throughout time. Who you choose to love. Job tells on himself indirectly because he doesn't trust his friends to not make him feel any worse than he already does. It's like you're getting a beating from your father as a child, right? And all your brothers gather around you and scold you after you just got beat. Why would you? Or would you confide in them with the truth? When they're proud to be over you. They all stand around you with their fingers out saying, yo, you this, that, and the other, da, 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 you deserve it, da, da, da. And you were in the depths of your pain. This is why God was angry with them. And Job brought their treatment of him to their attention numerous times. And there's a part in the scripture, the New Testament, Matthew 7 says, "Do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces." He refuses to be fully honest with them for fear that they'd use his truth against him and make him feel worse. Now, I believe on Job 31, he tells the truth, but with a crafty play of words. Now, if this is true, what did Job do? He says he made a covenant with his eyes, an agreement to not even think about being with a woman of low social status. But what about her heart? Now, what portion of God is there in a maid? He connected to riches, but many people of God were poor in riches, but rich in God's love and favor, content with little but full of joy. Now, with beauty you can obtain riches, but this doesn't mean that your heart is beautiful. Joy in service is a gift from God. It's not destruction to the wicked. The wicked will not find joy in service. Vain beauty finds joy in things. He says, "If I have walked in vanity, or if my foot hath hasted to deceit, let me be weighed in an even balance, that God may know mine integrity." It was done. I believe he begins to say exactly what he did, and then blankets it with what he didn't do, avoiding judgment from his friends and maintaining innocence with conjectures and only a few solid statements. I'm left only to speculate. Do you still retain your integrity? Curse God and die. This is the only statement that you hear from his wife. This is all you know about her. Sometimes in loving someone, you're keeping them from the life they're supposed to live and the lesson they're supposed to learn. Some people, the words don't penetrate. The words don't penetrate because the words within them are stronger and are guarding them from the truth. You can't save anyone from their fate. If they see no fault in their ways, they won't change. If they're constantly rewarded and protected, correction will be looked at with disdain. You'll be the problem, and ignorance will be their bliss. They will hate your correction. And holding on to hate, you can never truly see love. But realize it's the hate that wants to hold on to you. You are not that hate. But you can become a tool of it and a slave to it. He attributed the favor of God to riches and beauty, but he had no peace in his home. He could not put away the sin that was in his hand. Only God could. Peace, love, joy are true gifts. Focus on the heart.